What if I told you that one of the best things you can do for your running is to take a break? It might sound crazy, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why taking a strategic, extended rest can have you coming back faster, fitter, healthier, and stronger than ever before. So let's take a step back and think about what running fitness actually means. Actually, take a second to put in the comments below, what does running fitness mean to you? When we're thinking about running fitness, we're thinking about two different things. To most people, what it means is being at your absolute best to take on a specific distance that you've trained for. That's gonna be what we call race fitness or sharpness or peak fitness. But you can't have a peak without a base. Now, base fitness means just having good general endurance to be resilient and durable to whatever training you want to do, whether that's a couple of 5Ks a week or whether that's maintaining a consistent higher mileage. You might not be in PB shape at that moment, but you're at a good base to build towards that peak. And the bigger the base, the higher the peak can be. And this is one of the most important lessons in running, because you can maintain your base fitness throughout the year, but you cannot maintain peak fitness throughout the year. And if you try to do that, then it's the fastest way to lead to burnout or injury or just plateauing in your fitness. So when we're talking about losing running fitness, what we really mean is losing that peak fitness. So if you can't maintain peak fitness all year round, how do you get faster over time? And for that, we want to think like professionals and what they do and how they train in seasons. And you probably noticed there's the autumn marathons and the spring marathons, there's the summer track and there's the winter cross country. And having this structure allows athletes the time to be able to plan to reach their peaks exactly when they need to. But it's important that once they get to the top of that peak, they come back down the other side, and that's where rest is important. And it's crucial to have these periods of recovery in an off season, because it's that that's going to allow further improvements in the future. Right, let's go for a run. If fitness is both your base and your peak, then let's consider why taking an off season or some time out is so important. I kind of like to think about fitness with the analogy of a game of Tetris. And we use this analogy in a video about overtraining, but I thought I'd bring it over here. Each run we do is a different shaped block, but the ability to be able to put those blocks where we want them comes with a combination of rest, recovery, and nutrition. So if we get all those things right, then we're able to put those blocks where we want them to be. They're going to slot into place, they're going to clear lines, and our scores are going to go up. In running sense, it means our fitness is going to go up. As the game gets harder, or as we reach that peak part of training, it's really tough to get it right. But the rewards are greater if we do get it right, and we have that much bigger jump in score, jump in fitness. And we call that super compensation. If we zoom out, every training block is like a bigger version of that process. What we want to do is put those blocks together in a way that means that each time we start a new block, we're actually starting from a higher base. The reality is you're going to maintain that base fitness for quite a long time. And ultimately, the goal is that you start each new training block with a higher base than the one before. But in order to do that, you've got to have that rest in between. But getting stronger is only half of the battle. And another big part of this is injury prevention. Every workout or run that we do creates small amounts of damage to the muscles, but also to the connective tissues. For our muscles, that's kind of okay. There's loads of blood flow, they can recover relatively quickly. But for the connective tissues, the tendons, the ligaments, it's much harder to recover. And often that can lead to some of the most common overuse injuries, like shin splints, plantar fasciitis, runner's knee, IT band syndrome, you know. So rest and recovery allows us the time to work on weaknesses and to deal with any niggles before we move into the next training cycle. Talked about why taking this rest and losing short-term sharpness can be good for your overall fitness. But fitness is more than just physical, it's mental as well. And I'm sure that something so many runners will have experienced during hard training blocks is the mental fatigue that comes with it. Training can be a mental grind, and experiencing some level of burnout is super common for runners. So deload weeks are really important for rest, but they also help with a mental reset. And a planned off season is like a deload week's big brother. These planned periods of extra rest allow you to set aside time for other interests. And the funny thing is, when you give yourself that space, you actually start to miss running. By stepping away from the pressures of training, you kind of remember why you like to do it in the first place. And that's just because you really like to run. So then when you come back, you're back into it with more enthusiasm, more energy, and more drive. Right, that's enough rest for me. Let's get back to the trails.
So hopefully that's convinced you that taking a short-term dip in fitness can actually be a good thing, because it can help set you up for bigger gains and bigger goals in the future. So let's break it down into a simple blueprint
about what a great off-season looks like. Step 1 is all about timing. The best time to do this is at the end of a competitive season or after a big goal race, when you don't have any further races coming up. Find a window, commit to it, and actually enjoy it, because this is a really positive thing. An off-season could last a couple of weeks, or it could be a couple of months, depending on how much recovery you require and the future goals that you've got. After running a really hard effort race, you want to take off at least 3 days completely, maybe a week, maybe even more, depending on the recovery that you want, before kicking back into some active recovery. After complete rest, bring in some active light recovery. Don't worry about your watch, forget your paces, forget your distance. You're just out there for the joy of it, just for the joy of movement. This is going to help maintain your base fitness whilst not adding additional stress to your body. Which brings us to step 3. Stay active differently. Just because you're not running or you're doing less running doesn't mean that you need to do nothing. You can do other activities. Swim, cycle, hike, kind of anything that gives a little bit of light movement, but without additional stress or intensity. It's the intensity that you want to avoid at this time. Step 4 is the return. And this step is crucial because you've had some time off. You've lost that peak sharpness, so you can't go back to where you were before. You have to accept that, unfortunately, you can't jump right back to where you were. That sharpness is gone, and that's fine. You want to build back. You want to work on that base volume, and you want to do that for a few weeks before starting to add any more intensity in. And when you do, don't aim for paces that you were hitting previously when you were at your fittest. You'll get back to that point, but you don't need to be there right now. So to recap, taking breaks around your training is a really important thing to do because it's going to set you up for future goals. Schedule breaks after major goals. Have intentional rest and then active recovery, and then ease back into your running.
So there it is. Taking a break from running isn't just about resting. It's there to help boost your long-term performance. It's there to reduce injury risk and actually increase your enjoyment of it. And taking a short-term dip in fitness is only setting you up for what you want to do next. Because remember that the bigger the base, the higher the peak that you can reach, and that's really going to set you up for the future. If you like this video, then like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what's your favorite way to recharge in an off-season. And check out this video of my most recent race, the Sydney Marathon.